Could we maybe say a North London European double this season with Arsenal winning the Champions League maybe? What a couple of performances for them, Chris. Sure. Knocking out the holders over 2 legs, beating them convincing at the Emirates, and then going to the Bernabeu and beating them again. Just how impressive was that?
Very, very. You know, a lot of people, and obviously it looks as if Carlo Ancelotti's going to lose his job off the back, and a lot of people will focus on Real Madrid, the holders, they've been knocked out. But Arsenal were unbelievable over 2 legs. You know, you look at the performances, you know, you sign special players and you ask them to step up in big moments, and that's exactly Declan Rice, Odegaard, Saka coming back in as well. You need these guys in big moments. Jules, I mean, I said it to you this morning as well, Timber goes under the radar for me as well. You know, I think he's a fantastic defender. When he's missing, you know he's obviously missing because of his level of performances. I think 1v1 he can deal with the best in the world. We've seen that the other night there. A really, really top defender. I wouldn't rule out Arsenal beating PSG. I mean, I know you look at you go back a few weeks ago, and because of the performance that PSG put in against Liverpool, and you know, deserved to knock them out, and Liverpool were flying at the top of the Premier League, and everybody was saying, you know, you've knocked the favourites out, and all of a sudden then PSG jumped to favourites. I thought there was vulnerability against them again with Aston Villa. You know, we've seen that on the counter-attack they are fantastic, but I wouldn't rule this Arsenal team out. You know, they've got, for me, pretty much everything apart from a number 9. But, you know, Moreno, I think, does a job. He's more compact in that midfield area that allows him to build through the pitch. But, not only to dismantle Real Madrid at the Emirates, but then to go to the Bernabeu and the performance that they did over there was incredible. That other semi-final is going to be very interesting as well. Inter Milan, they just keep going along. Nobody's really speaking about them because of, obviously Barcelona, but they've just knocked out Bayern Munich as well, and they're a proper team. They're a proper football team. Barcelona, because of the history and tradition, the way they've been playing, but everybody thinks the winner's going to come from this semi-final of PSG and Arsenal. I wouldn't rule out Inter Milan either. And Lee, obviously you've been watching Villa very closely up against PSG, and boy did they push them in that second leg. Did they show Arsenal something of a blueprint then on how you can hurt this Paris side?
Yeah, I think so. I think at home they've been excellent, PSG having, going over there and witnessing what it's all about. I think Arsenal are probably a bit more streetwise than what Villa were, so that's why I feel that Arsenal can go and beat PSG. And I think in that midfield area, I think that's where I could identify that they sort of run all over Villa at PSG. But away from home, you could see the vulnerability, the chances that Villa created, caused. And it surprised me, to think that they were well in control of that tie. 2-0 up at Villa Park, and how they sort of crumbled, and all of a sudden it was backs against the wall and another goal. You're starting to think Villa could go and win the tie and go through. And that's credit to Villa. I think they really showed massive spirit. Some might have said it was a free hit with it being a 3-1, but PSG are a fantastic side. They really are. I'm with Boydie. I think Arsenal can go and beat these. I think for me, they go and beat these. I think they go and win the Champions League. I really do. And he will be sort of, I know we're talking about eggs in your basket. I think that's what his focus is going to be, isn't it? Winning the Champions League, and this is key. So I think that they can go and do PSG. I think they'll do a job on them there, and I think they'll beat them at home. Wow, Arsenal fans will like the sound of that. Lee thinks they can knock them out. What do the bookies think about it? And I presume Arsenal are favourites. Yeah, they've beaten under 15-time winners. No, it's Barcelona favourites 2-1. It's PSG 9-4. It's Arsenal third favourites, and Inter Milan are the outsiders, despite the fact they just don't concede goals this season in the Champions League. 2 cracking semi-finals. We look forward to those. We have no time to dwell. We need to move on.
Arsenal, one of the most iconic clubs in the Premier League, continues to keep a close eye on the transfer market and, according to sources close to the club, is closely monitoring the situation of Brazilian forward Vinicius Junior from Real Madrid. The speculation surrounding the potential transfer of the young talent has gained momentum in recent weeks as Arsenal seeks to strengthen its squad for the upcoming season. The London club, which has a rich history of success and a legacy of great players, is determined to return to the top of English and European football, seeing Vinicius Junior as a key piece in this strategy. Arsenal's search for a new striker is driven not only by the need to increase the depth of their squad, but also by the ambition to compete with Premier League giants such as Manchester City and Liverpool, who have shown exceptional performances in recent seasons. Signing a player of Vinicius Junior's caliber could provide Arsenal with an immediate impact, both in terms of on-field performance and in terms of marketing and international visibility, as the Brazilian is one of the rising stars in world football. Vinicius Jr., who has stood out in recent years as one of Real Madrid's top players, has attracted the attention of various European clubs, especially after his impressive performances in the Champions League and domestic competitions. The 22-year-old forward, who excelled as one of the standout players in the last edition of the Champions League, is known for his speed, dribbling skills, and finishing ability. His technical characteristics, combined with a sharp footballing vision, have made him an indispensable player in Real Madrid's tactical formation, providing assists and crucial goals at critical moments. His vibrant playing style and ability to decide matches have been fundamental to Real Madrid's success, shining in crucial moments and contributing to the conquest of important titles. Vinicius has not only become an icon for Real fans but also a role model for young players aspiring to reach the same level of excellence. His ability to adapt to different game situations and his willingness to work hard in every match make him a highly desirable target for Arsenal, which is looking to revitalize its attacking line and bring a fresh perspective to its playing style. In recent months, Vinicius Jr. has solidified his reputation as one of the best forwards in European football, frequently praised by analysts and former players. This recognition has not only elevated his market value but also increased the pressure on him to maintain a consistent high-level performance. The possibility of a transfer to a club like Arsenal, with its rich history and passionate fan base, could provide Vinicius with a new platform to shine and further develop his skills. With Arsenal in search of a new icon to lead its attack, the situation of Vinicius Jr. becomes even more intriguing. The combination of his technical qualities and Arsenal's ambition to return to the pinnacle of football could result in a perfect match, one that would not only benefit the player but also transform the team into a strong contender for titles in the upcoming season. The interest from Arsenal in Vinicius Jr. is not a new development. The London club has already shown interest in strengthening its attacking unit, especially after a performance that fell short of expectations in the last season. Arsenal's campaign was marked by ups and downs, with moments of brilliance interspersed with frustrations, leading to a final position in the table that did not reflect the potential of the squad. The need for an overhaul in the attack has become evident, and the search for a player who can bring not only skill but also a winning mentality is a priority for the club's management. The team, led by manager Mikel Arteta, is looking for the perfect blend of youth and experience, and Vinicius fits this profile perfectly. He represents a new generation of players who are changing the dynamics of modern football, bringing freshness and innovation to the game. Arteta, who has demonstrated a sophisticated tactical approach, seems to see in Vinicius the opportunity to create a dynamic and unpredictable attack. Vinicius's ability to play in various attacking positions, whether as a winger or even as a centre forward, offers the manager tactical flexibility that can be crucial in decisive matches. Additionally, Arsenal has been striving to implement a style of play that prioritizes possession and intensity. Arteta's philosophy is based on careful build-up play and high pressing, and the addition of a player like Vinicius could revolutionize the team's attack. His explosive speed and ability to dribble past opponents would make Arsenal a formidable force in quick transitions, allowing the team to exploit spaces left by the opposing defense. With Vinicius on the field, Arsenal could significantly increase its ability to create goal-scoring opportunities, especially in counterattacks where the Brazilian's speed and agility would be decisive. Moreover, the presence of Vinicius Jr. at Arsenal could attract other high-caliber players, potentially creating a domino effect that would further strengthen the squad. The prospect of playing alongside an emerging star can be a motivating factor for other talents, helping the club attract players who wish to compete in an ambitious and growing environment. With the support of the fans and a solid base of talented players, Arsenal could become an attractive destination for stars of world football. Finally, Arsenal's interest in Vinicius Jr. also reflects a broader vision for the club's future. The Arsenal management is aware that to return to being a powerhouse in English and European football, it is necessary to invest in talents that not only stand out individually but can also contribute to building a cohesive and competitive team. The inclusion of Vinicius Jr. in Arsenal's project could be a key piece in this ambition, representing not just a signing but a significant step towards returning the club to the place it deserves in the world football arena. Sources close to Arsenal state that the club is willing to invest heavily in a transfer to bring the Brazilian to the Premier League. Although Real Madrid has publicly stated that Vinicius is not for sale, Arsenal believes that with a substantial offer, they can persuade the Spanish club to reconsider its position. Real Madrid's stance may be influenced by several factors, including the need to balance their finances and the pressure to maintain a competitive squad in a scenario where other teams are also strengthening. Vinicius Jr.'s situation at Real Madrid is also complex. With the arrival of new talents, such as English forward Jude Bellingham and other promising players, and intense competition in the attack, the Brazilian may find himself facing a dilemma: to stay at a club where he has already won titles and recognition, or to seek new challenges in a different league. This indecision could be a crucial factor in future negotiations, especially if the player expresses a desire to seek more minutes on the field and a more central role in a team. The Arsenal fans, who are eager for news in the transfer market, are closely following the developments regarding Vinicius Jr. The possibility of seeing him wearing the Gunners jersey is exciting, and many believe that his arrival could be a turning point for the team, bringing not only skill and dynamism but also a new impetus to the attack. A player with the ability to break defenses and create opportunities could complement Arsenal's playing style, boosting their aspirations in the Premier League and European competitions. Furthermore, Vinicius's reputation on the international stage is another factor that may influence his decision. After being instrumental for the Brazilian national team in recent competitions, his visibility and prestige have significantly increased. A move to a club with the tradition and passionate fan base of Arsenal could offer him an even greater platform to shine, as well as increasing his chances of success in a competitive environment. In summary, Arsenal continues to explore speculations about Vinicius Jr., and the transfer of the Real Madrid forward is a topic that promises to be one of the highlights of the European transfer market this year. Meanwhile, both the London club and the fans are eagerly awaiting developments in this story that could shape the future for both sides. The unfolding of negotiations and the decisions made in the coming weeks will be crucial in determining whether Vinicius Jr. will become a new icon for Arsenal or remain one of the pillars of Real Madrid in pursuit of more trophies.